Welcome back, everybody. This is part 2 of the Nightlong Let's Play, and boy, this is going to be good. I'm really excited for this one. So, just from an adventure game status, well, let's briefly review the plot and then what we think the likely next step would be. So we, of course, are Josh Reeve, ace detective, who has been contracted by our old friend the mayor to investigate a terrorist group which is attacking a biotechnological corporation, and somehow in the process bringing the city to its knees. So in pursuit of that, we broke into his apartment with a forged signature, stole a half bottle of vodka, a gun, a vial of terrorist acid, and the fact that he was able to get somewhat close to this terrorist group just before his disappearance, posing as a journalist. We got his subway location, the place he went to, at some point. We don't actually know when he went there. But fortunately, a bum with a roller skate was able to recognize the guy. He wasn't with the girl in the photograph, so we don't know who our friend was with in the photograph we stole from his apartment. But we know that he was with the lady that runs the Free Climax, which is a club right outside the station. We are now trying to get a card to get into the Free Climax by finding a fancy bottle of wine for a liquor store man who has sent his wife into the cellar, and his wife is deathly afraid of rats. We climbed a fence into the back alley, and we have seen a rat hiding behind a fence. So, any guesses as to our next course of action as adventure game protagonists?
Well, I don't know, but I intend to drink heavily.
Yes. Well, we unfortunately gave up both our light beer and half bottle of vodka, but
it's true.
We are breaking into
Also, Josh seems just uncharacteristically disdainful of drink for
he is. Yes.
Both an adventure game protagonist and a noir protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, he jumped down a sewer for no discernible reason whatsoever,
right.
So I think that's where we left him.
I would have more gone after the rat hiding behind the wall, but perhaps we'll find something in the sewer that will help us catch that rat. Anyway,
maybe a piece of sewer cheese.
It's hard to say what you will find in the sewers of this crazy futuristic city. So, let us begin our journey. Alright, so here we are down in the sewers. Notice the under sewers there.
Is that a robot?
It's a dead rat. Looks sort of fresh.
There is a robot
Disgusting.
wandering around down there. And hey!
I have an idea.
My problem solved with a dead rat.
At least no one can see me doing this.
So that's how we solve the problem of catching the live rat. We just go into the sewers and grab a dead rat.
I'm still not entirely clear what the purpose of this rat is, but I'm sure it will be just inexpressibly stupid.
Oh, it'll be good times. Well, we've got a dead rat.
We know that the lady's afraid of rats?
She is afraid of rats.
It appears to be a back door into the store's basement.
Okay, so we're just gonna huck this rat down the basement.
Well, we can determine.
I can't force it,
The
it's
padlock
too strong.
is too strong, but fortunately, we've still got our vial of experimental terrorist acid.
Good.
I like that the
I hope
live
it just
rat
burns a hole straight to the core of the earth.
Okay, that's done it. But I
Well,
used the
we've
last of
been
the
profligate
acid.
with our acid. No more of that. I will say this.
Using that acid a lot.
There's a small staircase going down under the liquor
It's easy
store.
to get addicted to acid. Kids don't do terrorist acid.
That's right.
There she is.
That's
These
right.
bottles sure are dusty.
Vague New York accent and all. She
Yeah,
will
that's
stay
really
here for
vague.
Damn. I can't go in there while
Whilst-
she's hanging around.
I sure hope that's internal monologue there, Josh.
Nope, just shout it out.
Just talking.
Dang it!
Get your skates
Yep,
on, rat.
put a rat on a roller skate. This is what we're reduced to.
I bet the rat never thought it would run
And
again.
it won't, Josh. So, here we go. Look at that face.
Man, that's like half the animation budget right there.
It worked.
It's worth noting that she just falls through a trapdoor to the center of the earth and is never seen again.
Good. Presumably she
this looks
runs
interesting.
upstairs, divorces
I
the
don't know
guy,
what's
and
going on.
moves to
Right,
Rio just instantly.
So here's a bottle of
A fine old bottle.
Good. Let's grab it.
I'm glad he
surely
finds
won't.
it instantly, instead of
Right.
having to look through this unfamiliar basement full of
Chateau
bottles.
Seat 85. Incredible that a bottle of this still
Man,
exists to this
it's
day.
crazy that that's the only thing he can think of to say about it, not that that's the exact bottle.
Just an empty keg.
See, there's a unique animation for that. That's, I don't know.
Tanks,
Kick that keg,
presumably
man.
full of beer.
Better kick it.
I'm no connoisseur, but it looks fairly ordinary.
It's not magical wine. I can't imagine like walking into a liquor store and just, well, I don't know much about alcohol, but this looks like it.
It's full of bottles,
Yeah.
nothing of interest.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
I have
This is
never
all-
once set foot in a liquor store,
It
but
leads back up to the alley.
I kind of doubt that they're much like this.
Yeah. No.
Offensively French proprietor and his
right.
Brooklyn accent wife.
Who wants an extremely specific bottle of wine that we're about to
Right,
give?
from their giant brick stone lined basement.
I hope he doesn't go down. Ooh, we get a short info segment.
Good,
Where's
on
the
the,
pollution warning.
Good evening.
This is
Union
such a
Metro and
stupid
possible
design.
I
terrorist
hate this
attack.
TV.
Downtown tonight. An
Is that the
incident
fashion?
which police describe as serious has resulted in temporary
Terrorist
suspension
event.
of services
Is that
on
Guile?
Union Metro lines 15
No.
and 17.
I think that's
A police statement
Guile.
revealed that
I like to imagine the terrorist incident they're talking about was our using the acid on the padlock
Right.
there.
It is not known at this point whether this is an isolated incident.
There's terrible resolution on that big screen TV up close. It's just horrible.
Union Metro
140p.
Bottom right.
services to lines 15 and 17.
It's
That's
like
for
the,
This
robots.
is Katrina
Yeah.
Wong, Internet News Union.
All right. Well, thanks.
Damn.
You can like wave your
Guess I'm
cell
stuck
phone
here
over
for a
that
while.
to go to the website. Learn
So if
more
you had
about the
forgotten-
terrorist.
If you had forgotten to get the that happens when you use up the last of your acid, and so if you forgot to get the metal bar, you could still go back now. But when your acid is gone, then they trap you here. So I guess that at least sort of limits your mobility.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, it's you again. Look around if you want to, but don't disturb me. I've got a lot
I
to
want to
do.
make that my answering machine message.
Mm-hmm.
Don't disturb me. Well, alright, fancy future alcohol man, we've got a few things to sort out.
Don't
Right.
believe it. Chateau Lafitte
He looks
85.
exactly like my
Of
brother.
course.
Where on earth did you manage to find it in this city?
That's my business.
Now, before you go
Now,
downstairs,
the membership
where's my
card?
card?
Amazing! I really thought that I had the only bottle in Union, but my word is my bond. The card is yours.
Indeed, he does have the only
Thanks.
bottle.
See you around.
I feel like, as in most adventure games, the protagonist's life is just going to be hell once this adventure is over.
Right,
Like,
right.
Half the people in the city are going to hate
It's
it.
a membership card for the
But
Free
remember, the club
Climax
is still
Club.
closed. Like, we have a card.
Well, that's what
but-
the bouncer said. I sort of assumed
Yeah.
the bouncer was lying because we were
Yeah, it could be.
not on the list.
They probably just say anything to keep the hoi polloi out.
Well, the first thing he said after saying it's closed was, "You're not on the list," which seems kind of irrelevant if the bar's closed.
Also, I don't feel like it should matter if you're on the list if you can get in with a card. Like,
Kai, here's my card. Satisfied?
Yeah, we're not open yet, but I don't suppose
Turns out
there's
they
any harm
totally are not
going
open,
in now.
but
Wow.
yeah, go on in.
Not open yet? When do they open? This is late already.
Noir midnight.
Burning a lot of good... Yeah, I guess
Hey,
so.
welcome to what's going to be your favorite character in the game.
You can't have noir
we're not
without a
open
femme
yet.
fatale. I have no
Shouldn't
idea how to
be in
pronounce that.
I'm
That's one of
looking
those
for a
things
friend
you've
of
only
mine.
ever read.
The club fills
Yeah,
up around
that's
midnight.
probably correct.
Maybe you'll find him then. Anyway, who are you?
Now's the time to see if Hugh's
Sure,
cover
don't-
works.
Don't say that out loud.
Joshua
He
Reed.
just says that.
Well, Mr. Reeve, how come I haven't seen you before?
I just got into town.
Business or
Technically true.
pleasure?
Business. Integrated security systems.
I love his
I'll
stupid
spare you
bald
the
head.
details.
What's the name of this friend you're looking for?
This friend.
Ruby. Simon
you're
Ruby.
looking for- I don't know what that expression
anything
is
to you?
supposed to be.
No, nothing.
She's lying. You sure?
She's lying, says out
I've never
loud
heard
to
of
her
him.
face.
Well, you seem a little edgy. The way you're playing
He
with your
just
necklace.
mutters it out the
What is
corner
it?
of his mouth.
The religious icon?
Her necklace,
This?
a
Oh no,
religious icon?
not at all.
Isn't it just
It's
a
just a
joker?
keepsake.
A keepsake?
Necklace.
It's
She
a
was holding it in her
memento of the
hand.
inauguration
Oh,
of
I
the
see.
Union Zoo. My father
Ah, the
worked there
Union
when I
Like
was
a
a child.
triangle.
It reminds
No,
me
pay
of
attention to
happier
the zoo
days.
thing.
Any chance of a tour of the
What?
zoo? Maybe I can mix
What?
business with pleasure.
Why do you want to go to
Sorry,
the zoo?
the zoo was never a great success. It
Well,
was shut
it's
down
closed
some time
anyway.
ago. The way into it was along the old subway line. When it fell into disuse, the zoo followed the
Thanks
same
for that
I think
fate.
I have an idea why
Look,
your zoo wasn't
I've wasted
popular
enough
if
time
you can
already.
only get
I've got
into it
things
through
to
the
attend to
subway.
before the
Right,
club
it's a
opens.
completely
You
underground
sure you haven't
zoo.
seen Simon Ruby?
Look, I told you, I can't help you.
Okay, but perhaps I know someone who can.
Like who?
That's just the problem. I don't know who they are. Simon told me he was
It's
meeting
fair,
some
I
people
guess.
yesterday,
Yeah, right.
but he didn't say who. I've not heard from him since. I'm sure they could help.
Help you in what way?
Pauses.
Here goes.
Make a break
time. I think the people he was meeting are connected to the group who are attacking Genesis. And if so, I'd like a piece of the action. I have my own score to settle with
They
Genesis.
stopped making my
Look,
favorite
I don't know
sunglasses.
who you are, or your friend,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Ruby. I can't help you. But a word of warning,
As a
Mr.
fellow
Reed.
member of the Sunglasses at
involved.
Night Club,
Uh-huh.
surely
This
you
Genesis
can
situation is
appreciate
bigger
this.
than you
Right.
think.
Hers are
I'll drop by
arguably
later.
stupider.
But if you see Simon Ruby in
Yeah.
the meantime,
They wouldn't even
Mention
be
my
useful
name.
in the daytime.
Very well, Mr. Reed. I'll ask around.
Okay, so let's keep
Don't
something in
expect
mind
too
at this
much.
point.
thanks. Cool. I think
What?
she'll check me.
Whatever,
She'll
Josh.
what?
This must be Eva Thompson, the woman that the
He's,
bum saw with Ruby last
smooth.
night. He never mentioned she
No,
was
I guess
quite
the
a
bum
doll.
didn't mention that.
No, the bum didn't.
So
Bum was
at
too
this
worried
point-
about his roller skate.
Certainly enough for
Yes.
a party.
At this point, we're totally out of leads. We knew Josh
Mm-hmm.
came here, and we knew that he knows this lady here. But besides that, we are 100% out of any reason to do anything.
Right.
We don't know where our friend went. We don't know who that woman was he was with. We were shut down immediately. So, what to do?
Right.
But, you know.
They've closed everything here.
I would think
can't
the
use
thing
the
you'd
subway
do would
anymore.
be either investigate the subway line, try to find the entrance to that
Subway's
zoo,
closed due to the
or
accident.
hang around the club and talk to other patrons
Right.
once it opens.
I can understand hanging around the club,
Typical
but we don't
subway
actually have a
graffiti.
reason to go to the
Cool,
zoo. Like,
but
we know
not
her
award
dad
winning.
owned it. I mean, I guess she had a pendant from it, but, like...
Well, we
That's
know
the
she
only
was
guess.
lying,
Yeah, that's true.
so
It matches
just learning more about
perfectly.
her would make some
the ID
sense, I
number for this
guess,
fax is PK
in an incredibly roundabout,
64768.
last-ditch effort sort of way.
Mm-hmm. Right. Fax machine. So,
It's the two-way audio-visual device
this
that
actually
Hugh gave
is a
me.
sensible time to call in Hugh. Just say, what's going on?
I still like how they call it a two-way audio-visual device.
that Hugh gave me.
As totally separate from, this is the future and everything. So,
It's
there
a
we go.
phone, Josh.
No, the bum is right there. Nope,
Yeah,
the bum's
Hugh,
right
I need
there.
your help.
What can I do?
I've made contact with Eva Thompson. She runs a joint
Great,
called the
who's
Free
Eva
Climax.
Thompson?
Free climax. Where is it?
South Central, near Rot Mall 17 subway station. I've reason to believe that she was with
No,
Ruby
you
yesterday,
don't. Well, I
and
guess-
she's involved somehow.
Yeah, he does.
Good start,
I
Joshua.
guess maybe they saw him.
Maybe it's the lead
I thought that was
we've been
later.
looking for.
Oh well. Anyway.
No.
She's denied knowing Ruby,
So
but
far,
she's
the
lying,
only
of
way
course.
we know is because
I'm sure she's checking
Josh
me out
knows
right
she's
now.
lying because she's a
Right.
terrible liar.
I used my cover to persuade her to put me in touch with the terrorists, and I think something's about to happen.
Technically,
matter of
something's
time.
always about to happen.
Good. Can I do anything to help you in the meantime?
That's the kind of philosophical debate that Josh
Everything
doesn't
seems to
get
point to
into.
the subway.
No.
Ruby's stuff mentioned a deserted tunnel, and Eva spoke of a deserted zoo. I have an idea that maybe
Alright.
that's where I should be.
I like to think
Can
these
you send me
people
a
are
map
just
of the
sending
subway
him on these
system?
stupid goose chases by
Right.
offhandedly
You've got a
mentioning
fax number I
areas.
can use.
Look at the little camera that follows his face
Hugh,
around the
try
top right
PK
there.
64768.
Okay.
Is
Give
that
me
like
a few
an analog
seconds.
stick on the bottom there?
Sure. Play video
Right.
games on this thing.
It's on its way.
Sure.
Thanks.
No problem, Joshua. Be
All right.
careful out there.
Well, fortunately, because we repaired the fax machine from earlier,
It must be the map I asked Q for.
We've got a fax just waiting for us right here at the subway station. Truly, the technology of the future is...
It seems that near here there's an old passageway that leads to the deserted zoo. Now I must find a way to reach
this
it.
just seems incredibly tenuous to me. Like, she mentioned a zoo sort of in passing. She has a pendant from it. And, like, you know, they said that the terrorists were getting around on... Okay, I guess you could make the case thusly. The terrorists are getting around on abandoned subway tunnels. And she mentioned that the zoo is connected to the abandoned subway tunnels. So... I guess you could put together that, it's this grand conspiracy, but boy, it's much more likely that this is nothing. But anyway, here we go.
We've been doing stupid stuff for no reason anyway. You remember when we stole a bar off a railing using our terrorist acid?
Yeah, good thing we had that bar too, or else we couldn't have opened the sewer grating to get the dead rat to put on a roller skate to roll in front of the house that Jack built or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, this is the stage in which, honestly, in my mind, this sort of stops becoming a noir. This has been a noir action thriller, technically, at least so far, like a future noir kind of thing. But I draw the line at abandoned zoo.
Oh, I don't know.
I can
what
see
about
the
that
rotten
scene
all 17
in
platforms down below.
Humphrey Bogart's classic Sewer Zoo?
Right. I take that back. Notice the sign that just says never. Never.
Yeah. Look, it's abandoned.
The zoo should be along the passageway. But I need to find a way to get over to the opposite side.
That's true that we do. I was stuck here forever because I didn't find the one correct thing to click on.
It leads to a maintenance room of sorts.
Well...
A maintenance room of sorts. What does that mean?
Unfortunately,
it's not exactly a
too strong to break.
Well, we don't really need to get in there, but, oh, what the heck, let's waste our only bullet and literally blow the lock off the door.
Great.
We will
I'm sure
not
that
be
bullet
denied
will never be important.
This.
Just a standard cabinet.
Here.
Pretty dirty.
This is not a sort of cabinet, it's a stand.
Nice babe.
Way to go, Josh.
Stop admiring the filthy pin-up arts in this, like, abandoned rust locker. Oh, don't steal it! Come on!
Then Solid Snake pops up from behind us and just chokes us
right.
out.
It's a workman's tool bag. Leads, a screwdriver, and a socket spanner.
Alright, there's our standard tool dump.
Right.
I wonder what's behind there.
Can't be a...
This door isn't shown on the map.
This is basically Space Station 13, just picking up stupid tools for no legitimate reason. We've even done, like, breaking and entering using some terrorist acid. This is literally Space Station 13.
This one is almost rotting at the hinges.
In the neo-noir future. Everything
I swear, if we see a clown...
It's small and rusty.
I wouldn't rule that out.
Oh, come on. I was joking. Come
I
on.
wouldn't rule anything out. This is the kind of game where you don't want to say at least X isn't going to happen. Because I know what happens and I'll make you
No
sad.
excuse for the workers not to wash, I guess.
Inane dialogue. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
So, anyway, we need to find some way to get across to the other side. Now, there's a chain over here that I actually found that one pretty quickly.
Sure.
It's a long metal chain.
But, it does.
It
we
weighs
can't
too
pick
much.
It up. Now, there's this shoe advertisement.
It seems every available space is used for
Whereas
advertising
social
these
commentary,
days.
Josh.
I'm not taking any notice.
No, don't fall for the man.
It's a metal logo on the advertisement.
Fortunately,
it's a
they
solid
just
looking letter S.
bolted a big metal S
It's
onto their
screwed to the
shoe
board.
advertisement.
I can't get it off with my bare
What?
hands.
And double fortunately, we just picked up a screwdriver, so now it's time
Right,
to,
yeah.
whatever, unscrew the N from Nike and carry that around with us. And
There you go.
fortunately, as all adventure game people know, an S is basically a grapple hook.
Right.
So,
It's
that's
like
what
a
we're
razor sharp edge on it.
doing.
Generations of children were
Now
getting
the chain has a
tetanus off it
makeshift hook.
before they closed
Right.
the sewer subway line.
This horrible subway line. There's no... I mean, I guess this is just the maintenance tunnel, but there's not even much room on that platform. Like, I guess this is the cramped, claustrophobic world of future noir or whatever, but the urban planning leaves a little something to be desired, I guess.
I also like how there's just this huge death trench that the subway travels over, which they dug for no reason.
Also, I mean, could believe maybe them keeping the lights on or something, but they've got to be using a lot of power powering this entire subway line that no one ever uses.
Right.
Like, there are actually abandoned subways.
The exit is barred due to the subway being closed.
There's actually abandoned subways in a big town sort of near where I live, but I'm pretty sure they don't, like, electrify the third rail or whatever.
According to the map,
Really?
this is the passageway
Have you
that
tried
leads
it?
to the zoo.
Well, technically no. It's
There you go.
The high voltage current leads into this
if this
box.
was being
Far
if
too
this was being
dangerous
real,
to
there
mess
ought to be
around
like
with.
30 more bums down here too. So,
Right.
It's a concealed control
is that
panel.
concealed? I think that's concealed. There's a huge handle.
It's locked and needs some
Well,
sort
I
of
didn't know it
key.
was a control panel, so it
It's
was
a
concealed
magnetic
for me.
reader. I think it's to deactivate
So
the field.
we've got a big.
The magnetic field
That's a
is blocking
magnetic
the
field.
entrance
Wow.
to the
Keep
zoo.
that in mind.
I don't even want to imagine how much power that thing is draining right now.
Which is literally able to stop physical, like, not, you know, I don't
Right.
know. I guess we've got a lot
I
of
did see an
filings or
experiment where
something.
they like
This
would
switch turns
levitate
the
a frog
electric
with an
current on.
electromagnet. That was
When
pretty
the
cool.
lever is lowered,
Yeah.
But it
current
also
passes
took
through the
just,
contacts.
you know, skyscrapers worth of power to do
Right.
stuff like that.
This is just a constant everything out of this doorway thing. So we've attached some wires to the contact points here.
This switch turns
Yeah.
the
Because,
electric current
because
on.
in the neo-noir future, we still use big contact switches that would just
That's right.
pull up and down. This took me forever because I had no idea what they were driving at, but here we go. We've electrified these.
Right,
All
let's
right,
fry
Josh.
this sucker.
Yep. We
Good. We electrocuted a
Demagnetized.
field of magnetism.
Damn, the roof has collapsed. I need to get to the other platform to get to the zoo.
It's nice that they have little propeller air clearers, I guess. I guess that's for ventilation.
I can't imagine how.
Rusty and full of
There's no
junk.
vent or anything.
This line can't
No.
have been used for years.
It's just moving
There's no way
the
through.
air around in
I
this
can't go
enclosed
that way.
room.
Right. Well, maybe that's maybe they scent it and they want a good scent. Anyway.
I like the flickering neon sign that says zoo.
Jeez, it's years since I've seen anything like this. Must be worth
Time
something.
to start pawning off telephones.
It's
telephones,
all
of
Years
course.
since you've seen a
One of the
telephone.
electromagnetic
That's right. So inferior to the subway fax.
Quite reach it.
Telephones are out based on the two-way audio-visual communicators, which really took over.
Mhm.
Ever since the time to smack that.
What?
We just
poked it.
We just hit it with a crowbar and it flew into pieces. And we picked up the giant
The
magnet inside
magnet
of
from the loudspeaker I
loudspeakers.
bust.
This is well within the purview of try everything on everything to
Right.
progress.
Like,
Wow.
why would you do anyway?
No use.
Doesn't matter.
It's not in
Not
working
in
order.
working order, so we move on.
Info booth.
They're uncomfortable and covered in dust.
Hey, trapdoor in there.
Rusty old pliers, although they seem in working order.
So I
Yep.
guess this is like a maintenance
We're
shed.
assembling our toolkit bit by bit. Soon we'll be going to the head
There's a
of
hidden
personnel and
passageway
asking
leading
for
down.
maintenance access.
We'll be hacking in and making the AI do different things.
That's right.
Actually, I shouldn't say that.
10
So
minutes
here-
later, we'll be beating an assistant to death with a fire extinguisher,
Check out this
putting him
creepy
in the deep
passageway.
fryer.
The embankment
Yeah.
stops just beyond these barriers.
I actually didn't see this in my playthrough of the game, so this isn't really necessary to go down. I guess it's a preview of an area we'll see later, but that says maybe.
Great. There are
Anyway,
a
this-
lot
this
of
is-
huge chasms in this area.
Yeah.
Every room for the past 3 or 4 has had a giant pit in it.
well, it's
Those are
you
hard
know,
to dig.
It's
A
dusty.
lot of
and obviously
sci-fi
been
is
out of
based
action
around
for a while.
symbolism, and I really feel like the chasms in this game symbolize the growing
Nope.
divide
It'll never
between
work.
society and
Between zoos
man
and sewers.
and between the 1% and the 99%
More
struggling with
garbage.
their broken train station faxes.
It was obviously
Mhm,
ruined when
mhm.
the ceiling collapsed.
The ceiling didn't collapse.
It
There's
might
like
have.
one rock that fell in.
Mhm.
Nothing, they're not working.
They sound so
I guess they're
petulant.
broken.
They're not working.
I guess that I would say, or maybe the power's off, but it's clearly not. Everything
It's hanging
else
down
is
the
running.
cable.
Then why would they turn the power off of anything?
I can't pull it off. The cable is too thick. It's steel and firmly attached to the
this
ceiling.
is a huge metal cable, but we have
That's
some
right.
wires, so this
sort of
thing
like-
is like 4 inches thick of just steel cable. Whatever.
Right. They're laser pliers or whatever,
Yes,
who knows.
right. Monomolecular edge pliers.
Those would be such bad pliers.
They're,
If you want to
they're
pick
more
up a
scissors
single
than
neutron,
pliers.
I guess they're
Right.
okay, but...
I've seen molecular tweezers. Atomic tweezers. They're pretty
How
neat.
are they at cutting giant steel cables?
Well, I was kicked out of the lab long before I could try that.
That's right.
I put in
After
some
that
twine
stunt
and
with
they
the
were
rat
all
on the roller skate, that was too much for them.
Right. I didn't even get to try my terrorist acid.
That's right.
The sign still lights up.
There must still be power, also all the lights are on it.
Right.
Anyway, let's see what we got going. Hey, it's the zoo. Welcome to Noir Zoo.
I wonder what happened to all the animals.
Look at all those little smiling animals. That lion looks really bored or tired or
It's
something.
dusty and covered with dirt, but there's
I
nothing
see
interesting
one
to it.
smiling animal.
Yeah,
And
tiger's
it's that
happy.
Bengal or whatever in the middle
Right.
there.
Yeah. Anyway, so this place is looking pretty good still,
A
honestly.
plastic
It is.
plant. At least it stood the test of time.
I don't know. I guess Josh doesn't really know what we're supposed to be doing here, just sort of poking around. Here's
Commenting on plastic plants, I guess.
the Flintstones themed restaurant area.
With 2 tables in it.
Probably about the worst looking drapes I've ever seen.
It's alright.
Yeah,
Sort
you
of
know, I
sassy
actually
about
agree
that,
with you
honestly.
this time, Josh. Those are some really tacky
Behind the
drapes.
curtain is where they stored their junk. An old broom with a broken handle.
Get you the
We are
brew.
going to personally comment on every rotting object we come
It contains
across.
some sort of flammable gas. It says to keep it away from bright light and heat.
bright light.
Potentially
That must
very
be pretty
dangerous.
flammable.
Wow!
That's just.
I wouldn't
can't
even pick such a
imagine
thing
what that
up.
is.
That's way more
I imagine
volatile
that
than
this
our
place was
terrorist
packed when the
acid.
zoo was
Yeah.
open. Pity there's no bar service these days.
Yeah, it's pity you can't
Oil,
drink
all
yourself to
congealed,
sleep inside
long
this
past its
abandoned
use-by
zoo
date.
top
We're in pro-alcohol Josh mode right now, I
Right,
guess.
yeah. When he's not actually confronted by the alcohol itself, he loves it. But
Right.
when the
They
moment
even thought to
comes-
decorate the TV in
They're
the
like
spot of the
witches.
room.
They're hilarious in concept, but in
right
execution,
when
they're
you
no
actually
fun.
meet one, then
Right.
totally against it. They're really annoying or creepy, I guess.
Right.
It's empty.
No,
It's not my
man.
day.
It wouldn't have been so much better if it was a full beer can in this ancient rotting zoo.
That's right. I see we stole the can anyway, though.
Of course. Hey,
He's
it's
not so
Kali.
disappointed that he won't pick up the can.
Right. Yeah, this is an adventure game. Notice that Kali is also protected
It's a warning light for
That's
the
good.
magnetic field.
by a
Sacrifice
giant
the
magnetic
damsel
field.
here.
There are no
Yeah.
buttons or anything. Nothing I can do from here to shut it down.
Zoos commonly have enormous statues to
Is that a force field?
deities.
The magnetic field is to prevent
it's a
visitors from
magnetic
getting onto the
field.
exhibit.
Notice the fire's still going, so I guess they still have gas pumping around. It's no doubt
It could be just waving paper.
right.
The Well of Knowledge, Union Zoo's bookstore. Well stocked, or is it just that few people ever bought any
I like
books?
that he tries to be kind of cynical like Max Payne, but Max is actually just really depressing and he's kind of snarky.
It's no use. It's
Right.
reinforced.
Ah, yes, reinforced glass. Well,
Phew.
let's go to the goddess. Well, we'll never see this place again. No.
Do we not have the appropriate breaking and entering tools for messing with that panel
we
yet?
have yet to get this kind of thing.
Fine.
We'll,
Go pick
don't-
up our giant novelty banana hat or whatever we're gonna use.
This zoo is just it's enormous, and it can take a long time to get through if you don't know exactly what you're doing. So far in the zoo, we've seen a restaurant, a statue of the goddess Kali, and now, of course, the Sphinx. The other
good.
Shame. This
I
mechanical
noticed we
creature is
haven't
out of
seen a
action.
single animal pen yet.
Right. Well,
Truly
that mechanical
spectacular.
action or mechanical animal was out of action, which we think is a shame. Also, that backdrop is just the cheapest thing.
No good. I'd only risk injury.
Wouldn't want that.
Would that injure you?
I don't
Trying
know.
to push through there?
Look, who knows? Would
Yeah.
pushing through a real super-powered magnetic
The
field?
amazing
I don't
Sphinx
know
of
that I would
Giza.
want to.
An imposing, mystical statue.
Just considering.
Welcome to Union Commons Egyptology exhibition. This magnificent structure is a reconstruction of the mystical Sphinx of Giza, situated in
fine
Cairo's
British
archaeological
accent,
area.
Sphinx.
As well as this magnificent structure, at the original site, one can also visit the incredible pyramids of Cheops, Khepra, and
I'm starting
Oh no, it's
to
a hologram.
understand why the zoo broke down.
It's a hologram.
Replace damaged file. Control room
And it
access
shouts at
code
you in a
follows.
robot
Use
voice and
graphic
everything.
wheels
What's
according to
wrong?
standard procedure.
Man, this would sure
Today's
freak
code.
out a few kids.
Under the supreme
Today's
eye
code,
of the father
under the
of the
supreme
gods,
eye,
sits
the
the
father
solar
of all
protector
gods.
of
Wait.
all men.
You're
To
just
the right
shouting
of he
this
who delights
to anyone
in
who
the
happens to be
tiny
here when
gods
it's
be.
broken down.
Also,
Well, at least there appears to be a control room
also
somewhere.
today's code is
I just need
steeped
to
in
crack the
Egyptian
access code.
mysticism.
Yeah, I'm starting to think one of the funders for this zoo was a little preoccupied with certain things.
Yeah, we've had two. We've had the statue.
I'll give you $1 billion, but this has to be your passcode for your security.
You just kind of grin and bear it.
Mhm.
Well, if you'll remember at the University
The
of
barrier
College
that
where we
prevents
both
visitors
went,
getting onto the exhibits.
we did have a big old rock that they have at many universities, I understand, funded by a man who wanted to research and control
right.
gravity because he blamed gravity for the drowning death of his younger brother.
It's true.
Rich people with crazy ideas do account for an awful lot of what goes on.
Yeah. There was a legend going around that written on the side of that rock was some big stupid treatise against gravity, but the
Really?
college placed it face down on the ground. That's the legend. I have no idea if it's true.
That's what the University of College absolutely.
That's right.
Anyway, so we've had enough of that for now. Now
We've had enough of that forever.
I wish that would happen. I would love that in an adventure game. You get some big detailed graphic area with stupid puzzles and you just go forget that.
Right. This is
I'm
so
out
pointless.
forever. I'm not doing this.
We still had no reason to be there.
I've
I
managed
thought we
to
might find a
magnetize the
clue,
bar.
but no.
No, we magnetized our bar that we got with our terrorist acid.
Uh-huh.
And now that we've got a magnetized bar, we see we can attract the giant steel chain and jump back across. Here we go.
You know, I have a pocket knife with a little keychain on it. Yes, good job, Josh. And I forgot about it in the closet next to a magnet for about 2 or 3 years. And the chain is now actually slightly magnetized forever.
Oh, interesting.
It has stayed that way for 8 years.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's
Well-
very weak, but like it will
Right.
stick to the side of the pocket knife.
Hey, points for maybe if you had
The
a
can is empty
maybe
now.
if you had a super magnet like you'd
To open
find
the
in any
door, I need to
loudspeaker,
turn the
you
hasp.
could magnetize
Right.
an iron bar.
I could. Yeah. Wouldn't that be
All right.
awesome?
Well, now we've opened this maintenance room door that's in the subway.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how pleased I am about
The
this.
light
This is one of
switch.
those old turn on the switch puzzles, famous in adventure game history.
Doesn't look like the bulb is working.
Well,
This is the only place
hidden
in the whole
passageway down
student sewer that's not lit.
right. The bulbs here have failed.
A ladder descends
That's
into the
poetic,
darkness.
Josh.
It does. This
And
is
down he goes.
Plato's cave
Remember
down
this
here.
From earlier? We saw
I do.
that
I'm trying to imagine the geometry
The pipes are
of the upper
obviously
area
carrying
and how it would
something, but I'm
relate
not
to
sure what.
this, but I decided to stop.
Don't do that.
The box is hot to
Because that
touch.
area directly across from us we actually access by getting into, crossing the other way and go, well, whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's shut tight, but I can see another passageway
Alright.
beyond it.
How are we going to solve this puzzle? That's right.
Let's see, terrorist acid,
No,
ancient
use that
rotting
later.
pinup poster.
Hey,
Nope.
there's another passageway.
I
behind
like that
here.
he's surprised by it now. He saw it before. Hey,
It's
that
not
passageway
just a
actually.
flat wall with a skeleton.